guys, I'm Myris.
And I'm Summer, and welcome to Lockdown Lounge,
where we show you how to make our favorite happy hour cocktails from home. Hi, Summer.
Hi, Myris.
How you doing, baby?
I feel like we're both going through some stuff this week. Your mood is reflected in your gothic
very
attire today.
Very I've had the week from hell, and I wanted it to reflect in my look, y'all. I'm very dramatic that way. How was your week, Summer?
We're gonna talk about my week.
Right.
I've been in this industry for 7 years, and I have never, ever had the type of things that have happened to me this week happen to me before. It's been ridiculous. Like, I just needed to relax, chill, which is why I'm in my workout gear, which is kind of funny because, obviously I'm not working out. And I'm just really looking forward to what we're doing today. It's going to be another just laid back video where we're not actually making cocktails and showing you guys how to make cocktails. This is going to be more of a story heavy episode, because what are we doing today, Myris?
We're doing
wine. I am such a wino. I am really happy about the fact that we're doing wine today. And Myris and I picked different types of wine, so it should still be an interesting video. But
Uncle Joe,
that being said,
I wish I had some cheese because we're on here whining. So I was like, you could get some cheese to go with that wine.
And they're never, ever funny.
No?
That is so funny. I didn't even think about the fact that this video is going to be us whining. Well, it's definitely going to be me whining.
We should get some cheese. Dang it.
I have some cheese. I could go get some slice something.
Nah, we'll live without it. But that was our Uncle joke for today. That made me feel a little better.
Uncle joke. That is funny.
All right.
What are we learning about wine today, Myris?
Alrighty, getting into the history. Wine is very similar to beer as far as historically, guys. It goes back to the biblical era. Jesus made water out of wine, so that's how far back wine goes.
Opposite, he made wine out of water.
Water into wine.
There you go.
What did I say? Water
out of wine.
He probably did that. He probably could do that too. He's Jesus. But anyway, so he made water into wine, so that's how far back wine goes.
You know what this reminds me of, Myris?
Lord, we done ran out of wine. Well, y'all know normally I don't do this, but y'all gonna keep the party going.
Anyway.
All right. So wine is traditionally made out of grapes. Sometimes it's made out of rice, but we'll get into that in our sake episode. Red wine is grapes with the peel on them, and white wine is grapes without the peel on it.
You know what? I honestly always thought that red wine was made from red grapes and white wine was made from green grapes. That will tell you my ignorance when it comes to wine. I just know I like it. I did not know it was all about the peel.
I actually learned a lot of wine getting into the bartending aspect of working at the restaurant. I didn't know a lot about wine before this either, guys. So like I said, red wine, peel, white wine, no peel. A lot of great wines come from several regions. You hear a lot about French wines. You hear a lot about Californian wines. You might hear about New Zealand. Some of the newer ones that have popped up in the last century are African wines, Australian wine. Well, yeah, and wines from China and Japan. So, with that being said, what are you drinking today, Summer? Seductively.
They probably didn't see that depending on which view of the video they had. But I picked, the lighting is probably going to make this difficult to see, but I picked a dry Riesling from Chateau Saint Michel. I believe that is a California in the Columbia Valley. So yes, it's California wine. It's white wine, obviously. Wait, okay. Time out. I can't even say obviously. I once had a server that I was working with. He rang in a Cabernet, which is a red wine, and he rang in a Chardonnay, which is a white wine. And he asked me, after I poured the wines, he actually asked me which one was the red wine and which one was the white wine.
I mean, I've had those questions happen too. when you're new to the game of restaurants or new to the game of bartending, some people are that naive to that stuff. Some people are that naive to that stuff. I'm just saying.
Anyway, so this is the dry Riesling. Rieslings tend to be on the sweeter side, depending whether or not it's a late harvest Riesling or a Gewürztraminer, but they tend to be a little sweeter. This is a dry Riesling, so it's not going to be as sweet as a regular Riesling, which is why I like it. And it's
because someone don't like sweet.
Can we not go one video without saying that?
No, sorry.
So this one says it is crafted to be lean and fresh with inviting sweet citrus aromas, beautiful stone fruit flavors, and a hint of minerality. An incredibly versatile food wine. So I have cooked with my husband has cooked with this because he does most of the cooking, but he has cooked with this and it's awesome also. So to our tools, I'm going to show you how to open a bottle of wine correctly. A lot of people in your kitchen, you're going to find one of these things. Looks like a person, right?
And wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Doing jumping jacks or some kind. Don't use this. This is horrible. Like, you could break corks with this. I mean, you can break corks with any type of wine tool, but this is garbage. Don't use it. This is something that you will commonly find in a server's toolbox, in a bartender's toolbox, and that is a wine key or a wine opener, but you call them wine keys. And it's double hinged, hinge, and there's this little thing here to cut the foil, and then this is where, you put it in and the cork comes out. So these are better, and you have more control over with these. Do not use that other garbage. So generally, when you have a bottle of wine, if you were doing this properly, you would take the little serrated part and you would use it to go around the foil, and then you would peel it back. You would do it under the second lip and not the top lip, so that way when you poured the wine, it wouldn't touch the foil and become metallic. A bartender trick that we do behind the bar is, because you don't have time for all of this, is that we usually just pop the foil off. And obviously that's what I chose to do here because I'm impatient and I don't want to do all that other stuff, but yeah. So then have your wine key. You put the tip into the center of the cork, press, turn, 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 turn.
Enhance. Enhance. Enhance.
Enhance.
Do, 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 do.
So then you take the first hinge, put on the lip, push it up. Then you go to the second hinge, and there you go. So
Nice.
that made a bigger noise because my bottle was near my bar and it kind of hit. So then you have the cork. It's out. I have my pimp cup, my big S. I know this is kind of really obnoxious that I have a glass that has my own initial on it, but you know what? Some days you just need to know that you are the queen of your castle.
Hey, I like that. Yeah.
So then I'm just pouring, and this is a house pour, meaning I'm at home. I'll do what I want because that's my business.
All right, Tasha.
Yeah, you know. I just got this here. It's really cool. Anyway, but here we go.
All right.
Iris, back to you.
All right, y'all. To continue my gothy ways right now, I picked a red blend called Apothic Red. It's also a California wine. It's specifically from the Appalachian, California. This one is, first of all, I drink Apothic all the time. I love it.
She does.
It's very rich, smooth, has a lot of dark fruits, I guess is where I'm looking for. Like, I could have raspberry, it has mocha flavor to it, a little bit of vanilla in there. I love it. So, like Summer said, gotta stick with your trusty wine key. When I am not behind the bar and I am serving, I kind of slit it at the bottom, guys, and just peel the whole thing off like that. both very easy, both very simple ways to do that. And then, just like Summer did, I'm gonna add my corkscrew and try to get it as centered as possible into my cork and screw down. Now, I don't have 2 hinges, so I have to go down pretty deep. And then, see, my wine tool not as good as Summer's. There we go. Had to give a little bit more leverage to that. And then I'm gonna try to pull this out without a pop because by etiquette standards of wine, the pop is not a good thing. So
that is very true. I screwed up.
Ooh, no pop, hey. And I'm just gonna pour myself a glass in my big little goblet wine cup. And I'm gonna pour my measurement as well, because that's my business. And I'm gonna
do what you want to.
Cheers, Summer.
Cheers.
Think.
You needed that glass of wine, didn't you?
I did.
So how would you describe a Apothic? Like, is it a dry red wine or is it a sweeter one? Like, what is it?
Say it's too dry, actually. It's a medium body red wine, I would say. It's not too sweet because actually, I'm not a big sweet fan when it comes to wine, especially red. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I have to be in the mood for a sweet red. Like, I can like, what's the one that we had?
Jam jar?
Yes. I can be partial to jam jar sometimes, but I can't drink that all the time. This I can drink all the time. I definitely get a more mellow taste to it. Like, I'm gonna take a sip and then I'm gonna try to describe it. Hold fast, y'all. I am not a professional at this. There are actual people who have, like, I don't want to call them like black belts in wine, but that's kind of what they are. Like, I forget what they call them. They're like wine gurus.
They're called sommeliers.
Thank you. That take sips and can, like, know the region and the year and all that stuff. I can't do that, but I can fake it till I make it.
Or not sommelier, sommelier. It's a French word. But you get the gist.
Gonna put the right word up there.
Sommelier.
I know how to spell it. I just can't pronounce it. Anyway, so
I get a lot of, like, raspberry. I get a lot of blackberry. I get a hint of vanilla, and I love it.
I like Apothic Red too, actually. It's one of the red wines, the blends. I tend to like blends, so they're very drinkable. Like when we did the sangria video, I talked about 19 Crimes, which is also a blend. I don't believe it's as fruit forward as the Apothic, but it's good.
It's good.
So, can I vent now?
Absolutely. Go ahead and vent, girl. It's your show.
Okay, so have I mentioned, I don't know if I've mentioned this lately, but how much I hate making Long Island iced teas. And
you mentioned it.
Okay, so I hate making Long Island iced teas. And it's not because it's a difficult drink to make, it's because it's garbage. And if you drink Long Island iced teas, I'm sorry, you're a garbage person. I really believe that now after this whole event that happened to me a week ago. So I had a server, I'm on Service Bar, I have a server ringing in Long Island iced teas with no sour mix, no triple sec, and Coke on the side. When I tell you, that's basically just a white Four Horsemen. Like, all it is booze, and it's in a pint glass, so it's a lot of booze, and it's lighter fluid, and you're a trash person if you drink it. So we had this table, it was 2 young ladies. I'm not even gonna call them young ladies at this point. There are 2 chicks sitting at the table drinking these things. I see a 4th round of this come up, okay? A 4th round. And I'm like, yo, are they okay?
They're 4 Long Islands in a piece.
Yes, okay? This would be the 4th one. I had already made 2 at that point, and my co-worker had made 1 at that point. So I mean, these are not weak drinks, okay? So they had dinner or whatever, they're chilling, but this would be their 4th round. So I tell the server, hey, this is actually a lot of booze to be serving someone. A manager needs to go talk to them and make sure that they're okay, and make a executive decision whether or not we're gonna serve them. Do you not know, Myris, that this young lady, this server, decided to go to the table and tell them, well, the bartender won't make your drink until a manager gives you a drunk test to make sure you're okay.
Wow. Who was the immature hour server? Never mind, I don't want to know.
So, wow. I mean, this server just turned 21.
That was the worst thing to say, though.
Yeah, this server just turned 21. Whatever. She's a sweetheart. I love her, but it was not her wisest moment, okay?
Wow.
So,
yeah, guys, if you're a new server and you're trying to like cut a table off, that is not the way to do it. Don't do it.
Well, she didn't even realize like why the table needed to be cut off. She didn't realize how much alcohol they were having. So I go and I find the manager. The manager had an issue. She couldn't get to the table right then. I come out. That's when the server told me that she comes back and she's like, oh, the table said that they're ready for their drunk test now.
Oh.
So I was like, yo, you told them? She's like, yeah. So at that point, I'm like, I might as well just make the drinks and take them up because I already know this is going to be an issue.
Yeah.
So this is my first mistake, I will say. So I make the drinks, I take them up, and I said, hey, how are you doing? She's like, oh, so you're up here to make sure that we're sober enough to have these drinks. Well, let me tell you, we do this all the time. This ain't nothing for us. We always drink like this. And these are too petite. Like, I'm 5'10". These women were like 5'4", 5'5", perhaps. And
I'm a little rounder, and I'm guessing these girls are skinnier, so they don't have the height or the weight.
They weren't skinny, but they were thick, but they weren't they were small. You know what I mean? In stature. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you these. You say you're fine. They were clearly intoxicated, but and I could tell that they've been drinking, but they were like sloppy drunk. They were a little slower in enunciation and all of that, but they weren't overly exaggerating and they're slurring and all of that. So I was like, fine, I'll give these to you. And then as I'm putting them down, I'm like, you're not driving, are you? And then one's like, we do this all the time. We do this all the time. We're good. I can drive on this. And I take them back, and the sister was like, no. The friend that was with her, like, no, we're not driving. We're gonna Uber. I'll make sure she gets home. I was like, that's all I need to know. If you're not driving, leave the drinks, go. Fast forward, restaurant's closed. I'm cleaning up the bar, and then the server comes back. It's like, hey, so they're saying that they've only had 3 rounds apiece, and that they were charged for 4, but they only had 3. I was like, well, I know what I made. There's only one table drinking Long Island's, no triple sec, no sour mix, Coke on the side. And my coworker's like, yeah, and I made 1 round. So I go up to the table. I was like, hi, this is my second mistake. So I know I screwed up. Second mistake. Go to the table. I'm like, hi, so I understand there's a misunderstanding around the check. Just to clarify, I know that I made 3 rounds of this and my coworker made 1. She's like, are you, like, what are you saying? Like, there's no misunderstanding on check. We only had 3. You can see all of our glasses. We only have 3 apiece. And I'm like, okay, but I know what was made. And she's like, well, somebody else must be drinking the same thing because we only have 3. At that point, I'm like, you know what? Let me go grab my manager. Manager goes up there. Long story short, they get the drinks taken off their check. Manager doesn't want to deal with it. It's fine.
All the drinks?
No, just the round that they disputed. Okay,
just the round. Okay. All right.
So I'm back to clean the bar. I'm sweeping. And then I just see them, hey, excuse me. So I'm like, okay. So I go up to the table. I'm like, yes, ma'am. She's like, I find it interesting that you haven't come up here to apologize yet. I was like, I'm sorry? She's like, yeah, you came up here accusing us, and you were very forceful in accusing us of that we had 4 drinks apiece and we only had 3, and you haven't apologized to us yet. It's like, well, the manager came up to you, right? Yes. So the check was corrected. There was no correcting the check because we only had 3. Okay, but the 4th round wasn't on your check, right? No, it wasn't on our check because we only had 3. All right, so you didn't pay for 4 drinks, right? No, we didn't pay because we only have 3, and that's besides the point. The point is that you didn't come up here and apologize to us for accusing us of having 4 drinks. And
See,
I was
right then and there, I'd have been like, I'm not apologizing because I didn't accuse y'all. Y'all had 4 drinks. Like, I'm blatantly stating it, and I'm not changing what I said. I said
okay.
what I said.
I said what I said.
I'd have been
Okay.
on my Nikki Leaks right there.
So I said what I said. So I was trying to be, Myris, you know me. Like, I had to work on my tact, and I am more cognizant of what I say and how I say it. So when they're like, we deserve an apology, I was like, well, I'm sorry you feel offended.
Girl, you hit her with a what's her name? What's the singer's name? Ariana Grande. Talking about some sorry, I'm not sorry. Hey, girl.
Basically, I said, I'm sorry you feel that way, but in a correct, like in a better way. You know, I thought it seems appropriate to say.
What they do?
So she said, apology not accepted. Get your manager. And as soon as I hear that, I'm like, bet. So I start walking away. She's like, this B word is not walking away from us.
On that note.
Yep. She's like, I know she's not walking away from us. This rude AB. I can't believe she's walking away from us. We're gonna get her fired. I'm gonna catch her outside. Yeah, like going off just because she said get my manager and I'll walk away. So I send the manager up there, and all you hear across the restaurant, there's only 2 tables in the restaurant at this point. All you hear is this woman like yelling at the manager about how I'm a B, how I'm rude, how I'm disrespectful, how I need to be fired, all this stuff. And at this point, I'm like, she's really mad, and she's talking about jumping me outside, catch me outside. How about that? I was like, I'm gonna call security. So I go find the security number for the complex. Security arrives like 5 minutes later, but as we're waiting for security, manager comes up. She's like, look, I see one of the girls like at another table that had a birthday, and they're like, happy birthday. She's like, happy birthday. She seems all fine, hunky dory, whatever. And manager's like, look, they paid their check. Everything seems fine. She said she was going to the restroom, and then they're leaving. I was like, okay, that's fine. So security comes in, my coworker, she's like, maybe you, talking to the manager, should go up there and talk to security, because I already know if they see us talking to security, I skipped the part where the coworker went up with the manager to talk to the table, just because the table was like yelling at the manager. She wanted to make sure that the manager was covered. So she was like, I have her back in case stuff pops off. But the coworker that went up there is British, and she made the comment about like, well, at the end of the day, and that set them off at the table as well. So she walked away, and they were mad at her too, but not as much as me. So fast forward, security comes, manager goes, and my coworker was like, I feel like you need to go talk to security, because if we go over there, they're gonna pop off. I already know they're gonna be pissed off when they see security in the first place, but if we're talking to them, it's gonna be worse. Just go handle it. So the manager goes to talk to security, and as soon as she gets around to where security is, I hear my coworker say, she's walking this way. She's walking this way. She's walking this way. I'm like, who are you talking about? Who's walking this way? And then I hear, excuse me. So I turn around, and it's one of the girls that was at the table. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, are you gonna apologize? And then I look down, I realize she has a stack of plates, like 8 small saucers, like at least 8. There's like a stack this big, right? And she has like one of her fingers underneath. And my coworker is like, girl, what you doing with those plates? Trying to play it off. And the girl looks at her, rolls her eyes, and looks at me. It's like, are you gonna apologize? I'm like, ma'am, I've been told by my manager to let it go. I'm not supposed to have contact with you. She's like, are you gonna apologize? I was like, ma'am, I was told not to speak with you. Are you going to apologize? I said, no, ma'am, I'm not. All of a sudden, she grabs a plate, And she starts, like, I could see her about to throw it at me. I'm like standing this close to this person, okay? Like, that was coming towards my face. So I turn my back and plate right there, right? And I start running towards the end of the bar. As this, you're gonna have to bleep that out too. But as this person is like throwing things at me like it's freaking frisbees, like it's a cartoon, just plates are coming. So my coworker goes towards her, grabs the plates, and tries to wrestle them out. She's like throwing elbows, trying to get out of this girl's way as she's still throwing plates at me. Coworker slips on the floor, falls into a show. The table of the birthday party runs to like try to subdue this girl who's throwing plates at me.
Crazy.
Once they get her, I call 911. The sister comes out the bathroom, starts talking about, that's my sister. Nobody better touch my sister. So she's trying to get her sister. And yeah, that was my night. Waiting for the cops to show up.
Did the cops show up?
They showed up, took my statement. The stupid women, like, you paid with a credit card. We know who you are. I found this person on Facebook. I know who it is. I'm not, like, it's not about, like, getting this person thrown in jail or anything. I was told that this person, it wasn't the alcohol, which I doubt. I feel like anybody who drinks that many Long Islands has some issues. And it's going to display some erratic behavior. Maybe not to this extent, but it's going to happen. But yeah, so I haven't heard anything since then, since we identified the person. But that was a heck of a night, let me tell you.
Yeah, no, that sounds insane.
Yeah, girl, I felt like I was in Matrix dodging plates.
Like, I'm mad she took a stack of plates up and was like, are you going to apologize or else? Like, had a Mexican standoff with you with plates. That's crazy.
All I could think is, like, I'm not going to apologize. Like, even if I say, I'm sorry for accusing you, I wouldn't be apologizing. I'd be apologizing. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl. So that was my crazy when customers attack story.
I'll say, folks, this is why I can't work in the restaurant industry no more. Like, the first time she asked me to apologize, I might have just laughed in her face. Like, it'd have been like, what? No, I'm not about, like, I would have been so rude, like, and I'm not above grabbing somebody. Like, yeah, I'm more mature now, but every once in a while, stuff like this triggers the old me, so I can't be in those kind of situations no more. Which brings me back to a situation that happened when I was at a restaurant, not personally to me, but happened to one of the managers there. And when I tell you, honey, if it happened to me, I'd have went to jail. Let me paint the picture for you guys. It's lunchtime, and people are out on the patio. It's summertime. People are out on the patio enjoying their life, enjoying their food, kikiing, and all that good stuff. And this homeless lady walks by. She clearly has some kind of mental issues, and I don't doubt that she definitely needs help for that kind of stuff, and I do sympathize. But she starts to get real rowdy and crazy, cussing at the people, telling them, like, you a-holes are just giving money to the man, and you're sellouts, and blah, 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 just cursing and carrying on, and they can't enjoy their food. So our manager at the time, we're going to call her Lizzie. Lizzie goes out there to try and, calm the situation down. And she does a good job. She goes out there and she goes, excuse me, like, you cannot talk to my constituents like that. I'm going to need you to walk away. I need you to walk away from my patio, please. And out of nowhere, this homeless lady hocks a loogie and spits on Lizzie. Now, I am a big germaphobe. And I'm the kind of person, I would rather you punch me in the face than spit on me. when she came in and told us, I was already like a little bit gagging, like, because the human mouth is disgusting. Like dogs and cats have cleaner mouths than us, and that's crazy.
They eat their own crap,
right? So if any human being ever spit on me, I told Lizzie to her face, I was like, it couldn't have been me. I said, you, because she came back and she kind of just cleaned herself off and was very calm about it. And I was like, good for you, Lizzie. It couldn't be me though. I said, because as soon as that homeless woman with the spat on me, y'all have been telling this story like, Myris, we had like bushes for our patio. They would have been like, Myris cleared those bushes like she was Marion Jones running track and clawed that homeless lady. Like we had to get the police just to get her off the home. I would have beat the brakes off that homeless lady. Like
if you like, so this is serious. Like if you ever want to freak out Myris and you see her on the street, just do this with your finger and flick her lip, touch her lip.
No, I am very scared of the bum bump, guys. And now with COVID going on, don't even touch me. I would scream. You remember that time that our coworker, we're gonna call him Andy. Our coworker Andy, and he was going around messing with people with the spray bottle of water, and he was pretending to sneeze and spray people with that. Do you remember that?
It's just, no, but it sounds like something he would do. Is this the same person who somebody got back at him and put like salt in his protein shake?
Yes. Yeah. So he got me with the spray bottle. I didn't know he was doing this little prank. And he sneezed on me, or fake sneezed on me with the spray bottle. It was cold and wet. All I could scream out was, dear Lord, he got me. Take me now. Got me Ebola. I fell out. I was like, oh my God. Like, he died laughing. I was about to go to the hospital. I was like, oh my God, how could you? And then he showed me the spray bottle. I said, that was not funny. I'm not a germ person, guys. I'm just, keep your stuff to yourself.
I have another germ story, but I feel like this video is already getting kind of long. So we're probably
gonna go long.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap this up.
We'll wrap this one up, but when I told you last night, like there is a reason why I've had 3 showers in the last 12 hours.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, it was,
to be continued.
To be continued. You will not believe this, Myris. Like, I really want to tell you this story for the first time on camera, just so that people can genuinely get your reaction. But I'm gonna have to tell you because this crap was ridiculous. All right.
All right, honey. And on that note, we're gonna wrap this up so I can get the tea.
So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe, and visit us on lockdownlounge.co for recipes from previous cocktail videos.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, guys, stay safe, drink responsibly. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Lockdown Lounge, down. This is the lockdown, lockdown.